Hey, hey, Miss Amber.
Hey Tanya, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, hon?
I'm great.
Yay! So exciting. All right. Couple of things. We have. I wanted to go over real quick. Um, 40% of the tickets to Legion's Con are sold already.
Yep. We have 6 months.
6 months, and tickets are selling fast.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to Legion's Con, start getting your tickets because they're going to be going fast. And I am super excited because they showed us the 2 pack for Sunday. Is that right?
Yes. Y-
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's AA20 and CC24.
I just
Um,
love them.
so much stuff. Like you can do so much with these.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think these exclusives that they've done this year are amazing, and I am super excited that they're doing these for everybody. I think I just think these are going to be awesome, and I'm also wondering if they're going to do something like they did last time, where they put the Valiant Knight on the table and didn't tell anybody.
Oh yeah. A little surprise.
I know. I wonder if they're going to do something like that again. That's really cool.
That would be really
We
cool.
it looks like we have people in the chat now. Do you want to go through and see who all we've got in the chat?
For sure. We have Jeff Evans.
Hey, Jeff.
I was gonna say Kanya. Kevin McCoy.
Hey, honey.
Darla.
Hey, Darla.
Stacy.
Hey,
And
Stacy.
Curtis.
We got Darla and Curtis Ackerman in the house.
Yes, both the Ackermans. We have
Both Ackermans.
Santos,
Hey, Santos.
Michael Morales,
Hey, Michael.
we have Workin,
Hey, Dave.
we've got Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Oh, he got his tickets a month ago. And we have Van.
Hey, Van. How's it going?
Oh,
Well,
and
we are not going to keep you guys waiting because we are super excited to introduce our guest tonight. We have an amazing photographer um, from Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm so excited to bring her on. If you guys will welcome Reisha.
Reisha it
Awesome.
is.
How are you doing, Reisha?
I am fine. I'm fine. How are you all?
Doing great.
Thanks for having me.
What was the weather like in Trinidad and Tobago today?
Right now is hot like hell. Hot. Almost like unbearable hot. Like hot and dusty because we have a lot of Sahara dust coming in. So barely any rain. We have two seasons. We have a dry season and a wet season. And because of, climate changes, our dry seasons are extremely bad now. Not a drop of rain, so it is hot.
Yeah. So when are the distinct like wet seasons? What months are the wet seasons that you guys have?
So our dry season goes on to like about June, like May, June. So wet season should start around June, July, around there. And when that starts, we're gonna get a ton load of rain because of how dry the season is, the wet season. Just like how your winters are getting worse, our both seasons are getting distinctly worse. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, whether it's in the dry season or whether it's in the wet season, does the temperature stay about the same? Like, what's the temperature range that you have on the island?
Oh, I feel like there's like a quiz. It really doesn't get too cold. The coldest, I think it would get like is 20 degrees Celsius. We deal with Celsius. So 20 degrees Celsius, I would have to convert that to Fahrenheit for you all. But and dry season could go up to like 30 degrees, 27, 30 degrees Celsius. I hope I'm not wrong. People trust me with that. But yes, it doesn't get cold to the sense where you would ever have to wear like jackets or winter jackets or anything like that. But yeah, it gets cooler.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I bet when you guys like when it gets cooler to you though, it's like it's a drastic change for your body temperature because you're used to it being warm so much.
It's a relief because of how hot it is. We actually tend to like the rainy season, but unfortunately, with the rainy season, there comes floods. So we have a
Right.
lot of problems with flooding and things like that. So
I gotcha.
it is nice, once you're home inside your house.
Yeah. So was able to do a little bit of reading on Trinidad and Tobago, knowing that you were going to be here, and I read that the limbo dance was
Was invented.
actually invented in Trinidad and Tobago. Can you limbo?
Not at all. Not at all.
And that's awesome because I don't think I can either. And then I read where the steel band, the steel drum band or whatever, was invented in Trinidad and Tobago as well.
Yeah,
I think of them as Caribbean because anytime I've been to a Caribbean island, they've had the steel drums playing, but
yeah,
was actually started there in Trinidad and Tobago, which I thought was really neat.
yeah. I think that was one of the few instruments that was invented in the, dare I say, 20th century. I think that was one of the few instruments invented. So, steel pan was invented here. Those in the when you go to the car washes or car sales people thing, they have these weird things that kind of do the weird dance. That was actually invented by a Trinidadian also.
Oh wow, that's absolutely
Oh.
amazing. That is cool.
Yeah, Peter Minshall. So we
Mhm.
do things despite being a small island. We have a lot of things coming out of Trinidad.
So about how like from one side of Trinidad to the other side, like the longest part of Trinidad from one side to the other, about how long would it take you to get from one end to the other end of the
I
island?
have I have never gone to the furthest tip of Trinidad, as in the southernmost, but nothing is particularly far, especially considering like how it is in the states.
Right.
I think it would take a couple hours, probably about 4 to 5 hours. I could be wrong. People who
Okay.
actually drive around, but I'm not. I can't give you an actual figure, but it could be done definitely within half a day. I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That-
not far at
That's
all.
pretty cool.
yeah.
We have a lot of traffic.
Yes. Well, and it said that, I mean, doing the research said that um, like it tripled in just a short span of
Yeah,
time
yeah.
for how many people actually lived on the island, and I just thought that was crazy in a
A
very
lot
short
of
span.
Yeah, we do really the public transport system not always the best. So, it has gotten a little better, but a lot of people, because of the hours you work, etc., a lot of families have to own cars and to get from one place to the other. So because of that, I think pretty much every household who owns 2 to 3 cars. So
Right.
you could just interpret it from there. Because our public transport system isn't used as much,
Right.
that's I feel like that's the main reason why.
Yeah. And we're here to talk about your photography, but like, what do you do when you're not like? What is your job in Trinidad? What do you do?
I am a doctor. I am actually specialized in anesthetics and intensive care. So that's my day job, and
Gotcha.
that's what funds my hobby,
That's
my
so
very
cool.
expensive hobby.
That's exactly right. Trust me, we get that. Very
And collecting toys. That's like the worst combination.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your toys and action figures, did you collect toys and action figures as a kid? Was that something that you were into as a little one?
So I was obsessed. I'm obsessed still with Ninja Turtles, and I feel like that was the first thing that I collected as a child. But to say that I kept them in good condition or even still have them, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But I always remember going to the toy store and picking up these Ninja Turtles figures and begging for them. And so yeah, Ninja Turtles was the first thing that I had as a child, and I think I only started back collecting, funny enough, as an adult.
Right.
um, just getting one figures, and I don't know, it just somehow ended up here.
Yeah. So Ninja Turtles 90s, you would have started collecting early 90s. Is that
Yeah,
about? Okay. All right. And who is your favorite turtle?
Raphael.
Okay.
Super
Obviously.
rude.
Obviously. Well, you have to ask. There are four of them. Now, when did like photography become something that you got into? Was that something you did as a child as well, or is that something you more got into as an adult?
As an adult, so I mean, I started off like most people, taking pictures with your phone and snapping little shots with my phone. And only as a doctor, I saved up and bought a camera for myself, a proper DSLR. Um, but then what ended up happening is that I bought the DSLR and I was studying for exams as a doctor. So I ended up stuck at home, not using my DSLR. And funny enough, that's how I actually started toy photography,
Oh
because I
wow.
was pretty much stuck at home with my DSLR,
Yeah.
and I had toys, and it was like, all right, something interesting to take a picture of. So I
Yeah.
to be honest, that I didn't even know it had a toy photography community like back then. That would
Right.
have been like 2014 around then. So I used to post them to my normal photography Instagram. Snapping little pictures of a stone, and then I'll take a picture of a toy. And only I think is only when my son was born in 2018. Again, I was stuck at home by myself,
Right.
using my mind a little bit, like just eat, sleep, feed, that kind of cycle. And that's when I actually decided, well, you know what, I'm gonna have a separate Instagram account and take pictures of my toys and post a day to entertain myself. So that's actually how I started like a proper the Trini photographer Instagram account in 2018.
That's amazing. That is
It's so
awesome.
cool.
Um, like, um, if you could think about like all the pictures that you've taken, is
Mhm.
there one that stands out to you that you think to yourself, this is the absolute best picture I've ever taken?
Yeah.
Um, One of the pictures that I am most proud of, there's two that stand out to me. One is a V for Vendetta photo I had taken. So it's basically V with like explosions going off in the background. And I actually have that printed and downstairs in the living room. And I love that photo. And the other is actually one from a custom figure. This figure, this guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I had gotten him. He's a custom figure, and I took a picture of him, and it was in basically in some moss and whatnot, and I had actually built up some tiny little sticks and made it look like a fireside. And I actually had like real smoke coming out because I lit up a napkin, and the smoke was just perfect, and it was the perfect scene, the perfect everything. So that's the other one that I am most proud of.
Awesome.
Oh, everything falls. Yeah.
Well, we are going to look at some of your pictures. I'm not sure if I picked either one of those for us to look at later, but I am excited to
You
go
don't think?
through some of your
Yeah, we'll
pictures.
see. Those were pretty early on, so yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Do
fell.
you remember the very first picture that you took of your toys? Like, do you remember the first
Okay, so I feel like the first picture I took ever. like with my phone, toy venturing into toy photography, not even on the Trini photographer account. That was actually, I had a sit stitch, and it was like it's not even, it's like this little figure who has his hands like that, and I basically took him with me everywhere, and I was just taking pictures of him commanding people to do different things. That was one of the first ones I took, like, generally in toy photography. I don't know if it could even be considered. And from a Trini photographer, as I said, I was stuck at home with my son, and I basically took a picture of Hulk with a pacifier. You know,
Oh,
Take-
that's funny.
that was the first one on the Trini photographer account.
That is awesome.
I borrowed my son's pacifier, and
I love it. I love it. Some of my favorite pictures that you have done, and I believe you just did one for May the Fourth be with you. It was you holding a coffee cup with uh, Darth Darth Vader, I
Vader.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, that was to me like your lighthearted pictures that you take with your toys, like those pictures, like they make me smile. I think that they are so much fun. Now, don't get me wrong, your other photography is amazing, but just when I see those, like it just makes me laugh and it makes me smile. I love that. I really do.
well, that's the purpose of toy photography, as far as, well, for me.
Right. Yes. Um, you had a gallery showing of some of your photographs. Can you like um no, Curtis, I said Darth.
I
How
just
dare
saw
you?
that for
My,
giggles.
my husband would kill me if I said Darth Vader. I mean, the first three movies are the greatest motion pictures of all time. Learned that from a very early age. Thank you. Um, sorry, that just caught me off guard. I was like, no, I didn't say dark.
I
So tell us,
immediately giggled.
I know. So you have to tell us about like how did your first gallery show? And you actually had your photographs in a gallery, and they were selling them, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I it was something that, I see online, and I see people, abroad doing it. And I actually approached the art gallery in Trinidad. It really was just on a whim. I sent them an email. I was like, hey, how will they feel about me showing my pictures in your gallery? Fully expecting them, I feel like, to say absolutely not, get out of my gallery. And they replied, and they were like, yeah, definitely. So that was it. Like, it was amazing, that whole experience. I'm actually having another one coming up next in 2 months time, but that exceeded expectations, I'll put it that way. I went into it. I told my husband, because they have them and they had them up for sale, and I told my husband, I was like, listen, I don't care if nothing sells. I just need the fact that I actually have my stuff up, like printed in public, and people
Yeah.
might come to see it, is good enough for me. And to be honest, it generated a lot more interest than I could have even expected. A lot of people showed up, and not even people who knew me, not even people who were even vaguely interested in toys or like toy photography, especially because, I mean, it is, there is a community in Trinidad, but a small community, and very niche community, and
Right.
it's not something very well known to, normal Trinidadians, and a lot of people showed up, like even like old people who were like, yeah, yeah, this is very interesting. So it was amazing. It really was.
So you printed them, like you chose a side, you had them printed, you had
Mm-hmm.
them matted, you had them
Yeah,
framed. Like did
yeah.
you do it like canvas or did you do like actual photographs in a frame? What did you how did you display them?
I stuck with block mounted pictures because I basically wanted it in a way that You could just take it and put it up. And so all were block mounted. I
Okay.
had two on canvas that were also like mounted and stretched and mounted.
Hmm.
And yeah, those the two that I did on the canvas were huge. They were like 18 by 24 inches, so they were big. One of those actually got sold. That was a Super Mario one, so that was pretty amazing for me. That the huge, I was fully prepared to put that up in my house.
Right.
But all of them were block mounted, and the printer that I actually use, he's exceptionally good, and he actually made it a point to do the pictures like you could display them anyway, and if anything spills on it, you can just wipe it off. So very high quality. The colors were amazing. Like it was great seeing, because most of my pictures very vibrant. I do a lot of very colorful pictures, and it was captured. It actually showed up the way I envisioned it. So that was cool.
That's amazing. So, how many pictures did you actually show for
Hmm.
your show?
So it ended up being about, I feel like about 56 pictures. The first set was like 41. And what happened was that a couple, when the big Super Mario one had sold, the person actually wanted it immediately. So we decided, you know what, go ahead and take it, because they actually bought two pictures and they wanted to send one to some family members abroad. So they took those immediately. So I had to replace them. So I actually put back like about five, I think it was about 10 more I had printed and put up. So
Oh, wow.
most of them actually were sold. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
then
Sounds
you're having a brand new show coming up. You said a couple months. So, is it June or July? When
Yes,
is
July the 8th. Basically, how I set it is that it's starting basically the day after school closes in Trinidad. So I set it for the what we call as the what you all call it like a summer vacation, the July August vacation. So the kids go off. So I wanted to make it a point that it was during the vacation time, so kids could come. Parents could bring their kids across and check it out, especially.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, your pictures are going to be in the gallery. Are they going to like put those online? Will people like that are not in Trinidad be able to see those and possibly purchase them?
I didn't actually plan for that. I mean, I could, if there's a possibility. So I could consider something like that, but I didn't actually think that far ahead. And I've actually had anybody internationally want to purchase one of my pictures. So, but if that's the case, I could consider it.
That would be interesting to be able to see some of your photographs, and if somebody wanted to purchase them, be able to actually go online and purchase one. I think that would be kind of cool.
It
Um,
could, yeah.
so just a little bee in your bonnet to kind of say, maybe.
I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
Okay. And you know that I'm gonna tell everybody. Like, if you do that and people in our community, any community can go in, I'm telling everybody that they can go and purchase some of your pictures. So, and I think they're amazing. So,
Thank you.
um, you you have not previously, before you and I kind of met and talked on Instagram, you had not had any of the um, Four Horsemen toys. Did
Mm-mm.
you know like who Four Horsemen was? Did you know of their lines? Have you like seen them around, or is that not something that you've really seen?
No, I have seen them around, to be honest. I one of my friends in the toy pick community, Bearded Horseman, Jared, he has a lot of the, I don't want to say the wrong one. I feel like his mythic legions that he shoots a lot of. So I've seen those, and also I've seen some of them in passing in like other toy photographers, and you'd see the hashtag Four Horsemen. So I have seen it. I've seen it pop up on Big Bad Toy Store. I feel like just because, well, I don't know about it, it was a little daunting to just go and purchase one, and be like, what is this?
Right.
But now that I have one, it is phenomenal. is a solid figure. Like I am amazed, like, with this figure. Like the amount of like accessories and the way you could customize it. It leads to like exactly how I like to do toy photography, like a bit open ended, where you could kind of create what you want to create and how you want to create it. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's a slippery
Well,
slope. Careful.
yeah.
I think I fell off that slope with toys and action figures a long time ago.
Well, Four Horsemen, I will tell you, is a very high, very slippery slope, and once you get involved, you can't get away.
Hmm.
Um,
There's no
one
turning
of the
back.
things, one of the one of the reasons why I sent you that figure specifically was a lot of your photography had like robots and kind of the feeling of space kind of looking kind of thing, different what's the word I'm looking for,
Environments.
environments, exactly. So I went cosmic instead of going mythic, because to me what you already have led me to cosmic instead.
Yeah, yeah. I actually feel more comfortable with the cosmic. I've seen the mythic and they look cool,
Right.
but I'm not sure I would have been as comfortable shooting a
Right.
mythic,
Yeah,
although they're very cool.
they are.
Yeah.
um I sent you the figure, and then like when you got the box, and I know that you were like, what is she sending me? What I mean, like, what was going through your mind when I said, "Hey, can I send you a figure?"
I had no idea what you were gonna send. So part of me was like, ah, I really hope she don't send me something I have, because I honestly I was thinking I should have thought along the line, seeing that as Legion's ladies, what you were gonna send, but my brain wasn't functioning. I don't know. So I was like, oh my god, I wonder what she's gonna send. Would I know the person? Would I know the figure? Would I know, So I was all daunted. And then when I saw this, I was just like, oh, it's been a while. Like, I actually felt kind of happy because I was like, it's been a while since I've been seeing the Four Horsemen figures and like whatnot. So it was nice to get one to test out, like to test run it and see how it is without
Right.
kind of having to go out on a limb and figure out which one to buy. And that's like a whole, like, I don't know what to buy, I don't know what to look at, so yeah.
So the one I sent you has like one of the biggest. I mean, just as a basic figure, has one of the biggest pop and swap abilities with that figure. I sent you Bill Dorklayer's
Yeah.
videos so you could kind of see like how he puts things together, and then at the end he does pop and swaps, which he trades out different things with different figures to kind of give you a look at kind of
What
what
you
the possibilities were.
Yeah.
Was that helpful to you? Do you feel like
Extremely helpful. I literally was watching the video and like, oh, so that goes there. All right, no problem. I was like running like a tutorial while I was like, okay, okay, all right, no problem. So that was extremely helpful. So it because I feel like this figure needs a tutorial. Like,
right?
especially if you're new to Mythic Legends and Cosmic Legends, and I feel like you need a tutorial, like what the parts are, and he did a excellent job like explaining. I was like, oh, that's what that is, because it had like no instructions, so
Right.
if it wasn't for that figure, that video, I would have probably just left the figure exactly as is and just take a picture with him stand up.
I will say this. Any of the figures that you get, I know Dorklayer, Toy Bro, and D Amazing, they all have great
Reviews.
reviews, and they tell you how to put everything together and take everything apart.
Yeah.
So you cannot go wrong watching those. But Bill's videos to me are some of the most like simplistic. Like
Yeah,
you watch him and he takes it apart and puts it together, and you're like, oh, that's how that works.
that's exactly what I felt.
Yeah. So Bill's actually in the in the chat, and he goes, well, that's great to hear. So you have just made his, you know.
I studied that video, and I even joking.
Mhm.
I literally broke it apart and was pausing and literally like studying, like okay,
Well, good. So now that you've got one Cosmic Legions figure, are you looking at some more?
I have banned myself for the thousandth time from purchasing any more figures because I have too many figures on pre-order, and my husband. I don't know if you're watching, and I hope you're not watching, but he may throw me out of the house because right now I have no space to display these figures. So, yeah. I have like figures on pre-order. In fact, I have like a box behind me there with big bad toys so that I haven't even opened.
Yeah.
And the line he is always watch me and say, yes, I know you pre-order it. You pre-order it. I know. He does not believe me. So I may eventually get the bug and purchase another one, but I feel like I'm still daunted because I don't know which one to get because they all look so good.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to join the community and then watch what everybody opens, and then you're going to be like, I got to have that one.
And that one.
The FOMO is real.
And that one.
Yes, it really is. I don't even, so a little bit on me, like, I don't like sci-fi at all. It's just not my thing.
Right.
And, my husband is a big sci-fi person, and I am not. I am more the mythic girl. I like the knights and the orcs and the skeletons and all that. That's more me. But
Mm-hmm.
um I have him sitting on my desk because he is just a chunky monkey, and I just love him. And
I like that.
he is just amazing, and I just adore him, and I can't, like, my husband said, why don't you, because we're changing around our office, to put shelves and stuff up for these guys, and my husband's like, why don't you let me pack him away? And I'm like, if you take him off my desk, you and I are going to not have good friendship for a little while. But he stays on my desk because I absolutely love him, and I don't watch sci-fi, but this chunky monkey is just amazing.
He real big, huge.
He is, and he is chunky, and he is heavy. Like he is a chunk.
I mean,
Um,
based on the weight of this one, I can imagine how
yeah,
heavy he is.
he is a chunk, but I love him. Like he's awesome. So yes, we collect all the lines, all the figures, all the stuff. So just be careful of that slippery slope. Be careful of that slippery
Noted,
slope.
noted.
What did you, when you were actually, because you've taken some pictures of Sligo, which are great. I can't wait to show them a little, when we start going through some of your pictures. What did you think about photographing him? Like, what was, while you were putting him together and then trying to figure out where you were going to do, like, were you able to come up with some things that you really like? Some like things, or, what did you think?
The detailing on him, that's one of the first things that caught me. Especially the head sculpts. Some figures, like especially when you actually see a face, I find that I tend to try not to capture the face too much because it just doesn't look good. The sculpt is nice, but his head sculpt and the texturing on his skin, everything was extremely good. The paint job on the skin and thing too, because a lot of my problem with, to be honest, with figures with human faces is that they tend to look very plastic,
Right.
and except for the more expensive, the Mezco and the more expensive figures. And I find for the price point, when I looked up the price point for him and the kind of detailing you got, the sculpt, he was good to pose, like extremely nice to pose in different all the different poses. And not to be honest with you, I'm not very great at the like I know my flows. I'm not very great at the action poses and all that. But
Right.
it was good to get into the poses and nice and stood up without having to have like 100 wires to try to get him to stand up. So I the color on him too, like the I it was it's such a nice blue, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It contrasted so well with everything, and it has a nice shine to it. So I definitely had liked all the little and all the little accessories, all the little details on him. Definitely was one of he's one of the figures that I did not think I would like. I tend to I have a unwritten rule that I tend to not do bad guys. I do not have many villains in my collection. I feel like the only villain I might have is Joker. Um, which is not great for toy photography because I don't have a balance, but I just don't do villains, you know. Oh,
Right.
that and Joker. That's but you know, Vader is not really a villain. But anyway. um, so I mean for somebody who's supposed to be a bad guy, I did enjoy, taking the pictures of him and all that.
Well, good. I'm glad. Um, so we talked a little bit before. Like, what DSLR camera do you use? Like, specifically, which one do you use?
I started off when I first started photography with Canon. So from that, I had bought a Canon lens, the 100 millimeter, the 2.8, and to be honest, up to now, that's the lens I use for my toy photography. The body I changed out though. I ended up getting a Sony the A7 III, which is a mirrorless body, and it just makes life significantly easier shooting mirrorless, especially for toy photography.
Right.
So I use the Canon 100 millimeter lens with a adapter onto my Sony A7 III.
Gotcha. Okay. And um, like when you go to set up like you're gonna take pictures of your you know toys. Do you have like specific, like do you have area that you do, or do you like take them out? Do you find areas outside? Do you have like specific places where you go and take pictures?
Well, I have like indoors. I use this desk. That's what I do when I have to take my setups indoors, like during the rainy season when I can't shoot outdoors. I tend to do setups inside. With respect to the outdoors, sometimes even within my community, most of the fireworks that I use are very small fireworks. They shoot off like this high off the ground. So I
Right.
would be shooting like in the middle of the road. I have a we live in a gated community, so we don't have free flowing traffic there. So I would be in the middle of the road in the night taking pictures. My neighbors no longer judge me to my face, but they are aware of what I do.
Right.
So either they if I'm doing fireworks or smoke, front yard, that kind of thing. The ones with like Sligo, I actually took that in the Wildfowl Trust, which is is a how to put it, is a place where is a where do you read more, but nice outdoor area, and they actually have like an ecological park in a sense. So, you know, protected sanctuary. So obviously no fireworks there. So I go there to take my nice quiet, scenic pictures.
Yes.
Um, and then I have a patch of bush essentially within my community also that I use. So I have like one or two areas that I could use for different scenes.
Right. Well, I love some of your photographs. Let's see what else we got. Your, I know that you said when you were a kid you collected TMNT. Now, as an adult and as a photographer of toys, what is your favorite toy line? Like, what do you really love? What is the one that if you
Hmm.
could get them all, or you could get, take pictures of this, like, is there one toy line that you like more than others?
So I do not own any, but I have been watching the Mezco toys. They look phenomenal. But with respect to these things that I own, I find that NECA does a pretty good job. I mean, the articulation is not the best with respect to the NECA figures, but I find like especially with the turtles, I have the the 97 what yet the Secret of the Ooze Ninja Turtles from them, and those are some of my favorite figures because of the detailing on them. It's just
Right.
fantastic. I have one or two 3-0 figures like the Bumblebee, and
Mhm.
he is cute like hell. I do like taking pictures on androids also. They're just so cute.
Right. Um, and you've talked a little bit. There is a small community of collectors there on the island. Do you guys like know each other? Do you hang out sometimes, or do you?
I feel like because of work and all that, we do not do a very good job in bringing the community, like how you guys have like photo meetups and all that.
Right.
People do have like friends that they know, so they would meet up from time to time, sometimes informally. Um, but we do need to get better with respect to that. But we have a very active community online, on
Gotcha.
Facebook and things like that.
Right.
So yeah, even though it's a small country, somehow or the other it's difficult for us to meet up. I don't know why. I don't know why. We don't really
Yeah.
have a good excuse, but we don't have a good excuse.
You can't go far from each other.
Work is getting away. Life, life
Oh,
be
that's funny.
life.
All right. So I'm gonna add your pictures to here, and we're gonna look at some of these and just kind of get you to tell us about them and kind of what your thought process was, um, and kind of what you think about them. These are. I'm gonna move you up. Yep. Okay. Um, so this first one, can you tell me a little bit about her and kind of you know
So this was actually one of the more recent figures that I got, Nezuko from Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
Not sure if you always watch anime, but I
I
recently
do.
binged out the entirety of Demon Slayer, so I became low key obsessed with Demon Slayer.
Right.
So like I said, I don't do too many action poses, so this was me trying to get into forcing myself to try to do a action pose with her. Still not exactly where I would want to be, and not as dynamic as other photographers do. So I kind of always comparing myself and trying to improve on what I do.
Right.
But simple shot, clean shot, and I do like it. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it's great. I thought it was really, really sweet. And I've not watched the show, but I absolutely love this figure.
I
she's
love
very
Demon
yeah.
Slayer.
Yeah. And then this is the one we were talking about earlier. I love this. Like, this to me is one of the best.
Yeah, so I mean this was actually done not for the fort of not for May the Fourth. It was actually done for, I'm not sure if you all know Rachel. I can't remember her name, but recently she actually, her mom's birthday is May the 5th. And every year she actually has the community get together like as a big collaboration, as like a happy birthday to her mom, to take pictures, and she has a theme. And this year it was like stuff with coffee or tea, so like cheers and with like showing you drinking your coffee or tea. So she had said you could take a selfie with you just sipping coffee, just to show her mom that the whole community got together to wish her happy birthday. But seeing that it was 5th of May, Revenge of the
Right.
5th, I decided I'll just merge the two together and have some coffee with Veda.
That is awesome. And it's so cool. Um, Curtis, it is Darth Vader. Curtis. Okay. Tell me
So,
about this one.
all right. So, I'm not sure if you all know about the movie Monkey Man that came out not recent. Yeah, I think it came out fairly recently. Monkey Man. What is the guy's name? I can't remember his name. He was in Slumdog Millionaire. Anyway, basically it was a guy, is a whole merge of like Indian culture, and he was wearing like a monkey mask to represent Lord, why am I forgetting names, Hanuman. Anyway, so I basically did a head swap. I took the head from one of my other figures, who is another custom figure that I have, and put it on the Ryu body, the sexy Ryu. And I decided to make that as my kind of tribute. Of course, it didn't come out in cinemas in Trinidad, so I need to still see the movie. But I was just kind of hyped over the movie, and I kind of wanted to,
Yeah,
hype up myself. I don't know.
that's awesome.
I like it.
So yeah, you're doing pop and swaps and didn't even know it.
I have been I do them unconsciously. Yeah, yeah.
And this is another one, and Stitch is so cute. So you guys are getting ready to share an ice cream?
Yeah, yeah. So that brand of ice cream is actually a local guy who made it. So I decided to do like a little series of pictures with it, just as I was trying it myself. So yeah, me and Stitch were getting ready to share the ice cream.
That is amazing. I love these.
I
Well,
love
this
this.
one, yeah, this was a simple one. I did this, I believe, for Mario Day, March 10th. And it literally, my husband collects Super Mario figures. Like, he has like a huge collection. And I basically stole his figure and went and took a picture. We literally, like, in the behind the scenes, if you was to see it, there's one little plank of wood in like a set of crazy bush grass, like, nothing fancy at all. But I really like the area because of how wild the area is, and it gives the illusion of, like, in the wilderness. So
Right.
yeah, that's become one of my favorite spots to shoot in now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Ah,
Ooh.
yeah. So this was a bionicle that so like I said, we have a big nerd community in Trinidad. That's one good thing, right? Do we necessarily get together all the time? No. But I met this guy online, and he basically messaged me on Instagram, and he was like, "Listen, would you ever consider shooting Lego barnacles?" So I told him, well, I don't own any. So, and I never really was crazy about the series, but I don't have any. So he said that he and his brother had an entire huge collection if I was willing to take some pictures of them for him. So he basically met up with me and gave me his figures and was like, he lent me them. And he was like, use them as long as you want, take some cool pictures. And yeah, that was what it was. Me taking pictures of somebody else's figures, which was pretty awesome.
That
So I
is.
had a couple of these series, but that was cool.
And those are fireworks in the you said the fireworks that are
Yeah,
that is
yeah. So this is actually in my front yard. I have a table that I basically completely destroyed. My husband used to use it for proper things, but I completely wrecked it with fireworks. But I really hope you're not watching this live. But so I basically took like a set of dirt and like dump dirt across the table to create that the area that he's standing on, and then just release some little fireworks in the background. So everything is just all natural, all most except for the glowing eyes, obviously. But
right.
rest of the effects is was it with natural special effects, real special effects.
That is amazing.
That's so cool.
Mm.
And
Ooh.
this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah. This was I have had that Wolverine for a while now, and was a little bit intimidated to shoot with him because of he just so well articulated. He's like one of those figures that one joint out of place and the entire picture gonna look like trash. But I don't know. I just kind of set it up. The pink stuff you see in there on the ground is actually from those National Geographic things that you could chip away and you get like little gems from it. That was my son's stuff. So I just basically took all the waste products and put it down, and I decided I was going to make a scene out of it. And well, again, natural fireworks. I actually did I shoot? Yeah. So yeah, this was all natural fireworks, and well, obviously I edited out the strings and the wires that I had to keep Wolverine
Right.
upright. Yeah,
That is fantastic. That is a great action shot.
yeah.
Amazing.
And I love this one too.
Yeah. So this is Yohimbo. So yeah, took him. This one is shot in the Wildfall Trust, the same place that I had actually shot Sligo. And the stuff that you see in the background, again, real special effects. I basically took some, I think it's like dirt and seeds, and just kind of threw it, shoot and hope for the best. It come up pretty cool. It was exactly what I was looking for. So
That's
a couple,
fantastic.
a couple bad shots, but I managed to get, this one that I could have used that was exactly what I wanted. So it's like the right mixture. My photography is the right mixture of skill and luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Well,
ever replicate this? No, probably not. But
well, I think this is fantastic though, and the fact that it's basically all natural. All you did was throw that up, and when it came down, you took some shots, and that's just fantastic. I love
yeah.
it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I oh right. So I shot this one the same day as the Cyclops Wolverine shot. So as you realize, the pink stones, same one I used,
Right?
and that one is actually some little smoke bombs, and
Oh, okay.
yeah. So the wind was
Ah,
just right,
cool.
so it dissipated things the right way. But like I said, my photography is a bit of an adventure. Is a mix of luck and skill. So it worked out right. I have like about 40 terrible shots where he completely blacked out with smoke. This one was good.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you get one good one, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Ah, right. Well, so V is one of my favorite. V for Vendetta is one of my favorite movies of like
Right.
all time. And I got this figure pretty recently. Can't remember the name of the people who made it, but nicely articulated figure. This literally was just a test shot that I did on my desk. I really was just testing out, just simple pose. I have yet to take an actual proper shot with this well articulated V, because the V for Veneta I had before was actually the Necker V for Veneta, so terrible articulation. But this one actually fully articulated. He has a set of knives, and he's the cape wired. Is a pretty epic but yet very small figure, like about 5 inches tall.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's a nice small figure, but he very well articulated, and he has a lot of soft goods and whatnot. So I am in love with this figure. But I need to do this was just a simple, put him on my desk and snap a quick shot just
Right.
to take a picture of him.
Yeah. This is fantastic. I didn't realize he was that small. I would have thought 6 inch.
He a little bit shorter than 6 inches.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. These
I
are so
like that.
cute.
Yeah.
Now,
Attack on Titan.
now, if I'm not mistaken, are these the figures that you got the shoes?
Yeah. These are the
Okay.
figures that, yes. I got Attack on Titan shoes, custom made from a guy in Trinidad. Yeah, so these the Nendroids. I love Mikasa and Eren, so I decided this was actually a tribute photo I did for a boy that I had met. I did a video, and it was actually on both TikTok and Instagram. But it was a guy that I had met, a child that he was undergoing chemotherapy and all that. So he had said he had really liked Attack on Titan, and this was kind of the shot, because I know his mom was following me on TikTok, so I had done a story, and I took this shot essentially for him to show that we there and we supporting him. So
That's fantastic. That is so awesome. This is great.
yeah, that this one is, well, Christmas, obviously. Jack
Right.
Skeleton. He was tears to get to stand up. He was like, oh my god, like those skinny little legs not compatible with standing. You literally have to, prop him up with 100 things. And I was trying to prop him up with as least things, so I would have as least editing to do as possible. But it resulted in me probably spending about 40 minutes under a Christmas tree trying to pose this stupid little figure. But the result was good, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, it came out fantastic.
Yeah. I tell my friends, anybody who asking about toy photography is like, toy photography is a lot of patience and a lot of frustration. It's teach your patience, you know.
That's right.
It does. After you do your full setup and you everything just come crashing down.
Right.
It's a lot of patience.
It's fantastic.
Ooh.
Right? This
Yeah.
is so good.
Well,
I'm
this
gonna
is
burn the whole
actually
figure.
well, this is not a figure. This is actually a Murti, and it was made of
Oh,
clay. So I'm a Hindu. So in Trinidad, I'm Hindu. We celebrate Diwali, and this is Lord Rama. So I'd actually taken this. I walked into a puja store. So that's essentially a store that they sell like stuff that you could do prayers with, and I saw this. I call it a figure, but it's actually a Murti. And I was like, hey, that real cool. Probably not a reaction they look for. And I was like, he looking real cool, like an action figure. So I bought it and I basically lit it up and yeah, because I wanted to do a picture for Diwali to celebrate Diwali, and that's
right.
what this was. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Love that.
This is hilarious.
Went for dinner. So my son is obsessed with coloring. He anywhere we go, like any restaurant we go to, we have to walk with crayons and an entire coloring book because he seems to think that every restaurant, no matter how fancy, should have a coloring book included.
I
You know,
agree with him. I think they should.
Great.
you go to a fancy Chinese restaurant, he's where the coloring book. It's like, oh my god, they don't do coloring books here. So we started walking around with crayons and coloring books, and I am not sure why I had a figure on me, but this Sentinel Miles Morales, he just had the right expression. Like I really don't know what to do in here, and I really don't know what to do with this crayon.
It's fantastic. I love it. Oh, and what this was at a restaurant. I mean, you took this in the restaurant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I took this. I am shameless. I walked my figures to
That
rest,
is
and I took my camera,
freaking
snapped a
fantastic.
picture, and when people look at me, it's like, yeah, taking a picture of a toy. Yeah.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Right. So this was a challenge that I was doing with myself. I wanted to see if I could make Happy Meal toys look cool. The McDonald's Happy Meal toys. So I stole my
Oh,
son's toy and then
you killed it.
You
lit it
killed
up.
it.
I borrowed it with permission afterwards, but
After.
he doesn't he doesn't care too much for the Happy Meal toys. To be honest, he actually likes seeing the pictures that I do with them. So I took the picture and obviously warned them 1,000 times, do not play with fire. And yeah, so this was all natural special effects, basically lights on fire, and you can see on the side there he yells singeing from the fire. But all in all, the kid came out exactly how I wanted.
That's awesome.
This is the 3-0 Bumblebee. Um, Nice, cute little figure, very small. I think I have him right here. I keep trying on everything. Tiny little figure.
Wow, he is small. Yeah.
Small, but very sturdy and also very expensive. I think he was like 80 US. But yeah. Um so I had fireworks, but unfortunately, in a sense, this was fireworks that were shooting too high. So I ended up kind of knocking it over to get it to spray out in that direction. So
Gotcha.
again, yeah, natural special effects, but that's the risk. Thankfully, it didn't get burned. So
Yeah. Oh, I've already put that one on there. Okay, this one.
yeah,
Ooh.
so right, so this one was actually a funny story. My sister, who I hope is not watching because she'll kill me if I tell this story, she was talking about Darth Maul, and she ended up saying Darth Malt. So from that, Moccasin is actually a malt. So
Right.
I decided to do a Darth Malt picture for her. She did not enjoy me telling that story. I don't know if she's watching. I hope she's not watching. I'm sorry. But
That's so funny.
I love it.
Dark Malt, which is why I was kind of laughing at when you keep saying Dark Vader.
Yeah,
Oh, Darth Vader.
Curtis. I know how to say Darth.
But yeah, this was fun. I was actually trying to. I ended up having to uh Photoshop the little spray of the foam, but I desperately tried to get that foam spraying out naturally, but it was making way too much mess in the house.
Right. Well, this is a great action shot, just so you know, and it
Yes.
looks really cool. It is.
I was proud of this one. I was proud of this one. This,
Yeah.
he was in action, and it actually, you're right. This is one of the few ones that I am very proud of the action aspect of it.
Yeah, this is fantastic. All right. And then here is another Christmas, I am assuming. Now, this could have been taken any time of the year, but
It is, and
okay.
this was again an extraordinarily simple shot with me setting up my Christmas tree and decide I was gonna, just put Miles grabbing a ball and running away kind of scene. I love
And
Christmas. I love Christmas because you have all the lights as just you just have bokeh everywhere with the lights, so it's just make perfect shots.
yeah, absolutely. It's just amazing. And then we're gonna you go through the ones that you've taken so far of Sligor, and we're gonna end with him because some of these pictures are awesome. Now, seems like I've seen this background in some of your other pictures, so it's a place that you have used previously, but it looks otherworldly. Like it looks like it's on a different planet. So, um,
Yeah.
this is fantastic. Like this is really fantastic.
Yeah, I like using the same spot because even though it's the same area that I use in over and over, I feel like with different figures it brings out different aspects of the background. And like in the background you can kind of see fern that one of those wild ferns just kind of blurred out there in the background. And when I first got him, like one of my favorite things to do with figures is take figures that in a sense shouldn't be in a certain area and put them in that zone and try to give a bit of a contrast. So that's why, like he was saying, you saw a lot of robots and sci-fi stuff. I like to try to, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like find a human side of of,
Yes.
of the robots in a sense. So yeah, I took him. This again was in the Wildfowl Trust, so I took him across there, and yeah, I shot those pictures.
And
I kind of
I love how you got like his head and is has so much texture and it shows up here. Like you see like the texture and the of his head and stuff. This is awesome.
Yeah, I really wanted to make sure, like, I find the head sculpt in this was fantastic. So I really wanted to make sure and get the head sculpt,
Right.
well.
And then just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that
I mean, I
good?
love them all.
Right. But this one, I mean, it's like that light that you've got hitting
Uh,
him at just the right. I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'll be honest. I cheated a little bit because the what is called that, the tracking device. I actually highlighted it in Photoshop after.
Right.
It's not perfectly all natural. I do use some Photoshop, so that little aspect was Photoshop. But so the whole concept, this was one of the first ones I had posted in the outside in the wild, and based on what I'd read up on Sligo, I know he would hunt down, have the prisoners under lockdown. So in my head, it was like, it had a prisoner breakout, and he was trying to hunt them down. So
Right.
that was the whole concept of, this starting picture, in a sense.
It's fantastic. And yeah, but still the lighting that you got from the
Yeah,
side,
yeah,
just the natural
oh,
lighting
yeah.
on him
yeah,
from the side, what I mean, it I don't think it could be any perfect as far as for this picture. It is just amazing. And then this
Yeah.
shot, I don't know where you got all of this from, but this is awesome.
So
so
awesome.
Like,
background, the actual background is the background from the box.
oh
That's
yeah.
that came from the
Ah,
box. And yeah, I basically, the only other elements you can see there. The only other element is really just the little wire mesh, the little wire there. So I just bent that and put that in the foreground. But I had there's a skeleton on the ground and faintly on the right hand corner. There was a skeleton there. I had a couple more elements there, but they're not actually showing up in the shot. But yeah, is mostly the background is actually just the box. And then well smoke, I actually used some blue smoke. There's one of them sticks with blue smoke. I ended up smoking out my entire garage. That was a disaster. But um
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
yeah. So that was cool. That was the all the around is like natural, like blue smoke, natural blue smoke.
That's fantastic. And then you used Photoshop for the
Yeah.
yeah.
Photoshop was the eyes for the laser eye thingy mobile.
So I'm gonna take these down now, and wanted to so you mentioned a couple of times that you take stuff into Photoshop to enhance or like in your work in your photography that you do, what like what percentage of time in the photographs do you spend like with Photoshop or any kind of photo editing um software kind of as a
Truthfully, I do not heavily edit.
okay,
Um, I would mess with the tones of the picture and normal things with the brightness, contrast,
right,
etc. But to say that I do pictures that need a lot of heavy editing because most of my effects are natural special effects. I don't really need to add in too much smoke and this and that.
right,
So to be honest, when I shoot in pictures, I would go outside, probably take a 20 minutes, snap the picture, and then, later in the night I would edit. But it doesn't take long. I would say less than an hour.
wow, okay,
Because most of the times, like even with the slide or that last picture that you saw, it really was just one highlighted parts, just for the laser point in the eye. And just generally brightening up. And I use both Lightroom and Photoshop. Mostly Photoshop is for the heavier editing, like to take out wires, to add
right,
in lights, like highlights and stuff like that, glows in the eyes and things like that. But I have presets that I made already on Lightroom. So especially for like simple pictures like the Mario picture, etc., I would just apply my preset and done. I
right,
spend a lot of time editing and all that. I
right.
don't have the time.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, you're working full time and doing this as a hobby, so yeah, I get that
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, okay, we are done with the questions on photography, and at this point in the show, Amber and I go back and forth and ask you some just crazy questions that have nothing to do with anything, just kind of get to know you things that I come up with or she comes up with just off the top of our head. But before we get into that, and we're going to do that, we have a giveaway that we are going to do. And I am super excited. This is from Anthony Houseseal at the Toy Forge. It is a great head and mug that we are giving away. And Anthony, we cannot thank you enough for donating this for us to be able to give away. We truly appreciate it. So let me remove that, and then I am going to share my screen. And we are going to go hashtag the Toy Forge. Hashtag the Toy Forge. And we are going to give away that amazing um, head and mug is going to come with it as well. So I am going to put that there. And so, hashtag the Toy Forge. You guys start commenting. Hashtag the Toy Forge so we can give that away. All right. Hashtag the Toy Forge. Let's see if we can start getting some comments in so we can give that away. All right. Now, Amber, do you want to start with the questions?
I would love to.
Awesome.
So where did you grow up?
Well, I mean, Trinidad in St. Augustine, that's a part of Trinidad. For the first 6 years, I lived with my family. We lived with my grandparents. And then we moved to a different part of Trinidad, Arima. Trinidad,
I know
pretty
you said
small.
that you have. Oh, okay. Um, I know you said that you have a sister, but do you have any other siblings?
One sister who is probably the polar opposite of me. She's the one who doesn't wear the t-shirts, and she'll be like, "Why are you wearing that stupid hat inside?" That's my sister. I really hope she's not watching this. She'll kill me.
Well, we hope that she goes back and watches it. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, what was your first pet?
I had a dog.
You had a
Um,
dog.
one shepherd named Betsy.
Oh, how sweet.
She was, I think she passed away. She was like about 13, 14 years old.
Wow. You had her for
Yeah,
a while.
long,
That
long
is
time.
so cute. Okay.
What was your favorite vacation as a kid?
Favorite vacation as a kid. Well, when I was 11, I'd have to say, we went to New York for Christmas. And that was my first time in snow.
Wow.
It was fantastic. I have this cousin who is crazy, and he would basically, I would be home, in a t-shirt, not clearly not dressed for winter, and he would come inside and be like, "Hey, come, we're going for a drive," and I was like, "No, no, no, I need to put clothes on," and he'd be like, "Come, come, come," freeze my ass off, but that's right. Like playing in the snow, like that was just amazing, just being outside and playing, snow fights and all that, and having to go inside a store and thaw out your lips because you can't talk anymore. That was fantastic.
That's awesome. um, what, not just the vacation, but like as a kid, what was your best memory? Like, what is something that you think about as a kid that you think, oh, this is the best?
I grew up with boys, as you could see, and I have this friend Nicholas, and we had the best times. Like we honestly swear to God thought we were ninjas, and I feel like all the times that I spent, spending nights by him and growing up with him, like all those just kind of merged together, but just doing wild, crazy stuff, swinging from steps and climbing up, and I don't know, just everything merged into one with that, and just liming with him. That would have to be one of my fondest memories growing up.
That's
Series of
amazing.
memories growing up.
Right. Okay.
Uh, what's your favorite food?
Sushi. Have
Yes.
to be sushi and sashimi, salmon sashimi specifically.
That's so
No, I'm
good.
hungry.
I like, although I like the tuna.
And I'm a big tuna fan, but I mean I'll eat it, but
Yeah.
salmon sashimi tops. Second to that would be pizza. Ninja
So, what is your favorite place on the island?
Oh, favorite place, favorite place. I am not, despite living on an island, I am not a big beach person. And a big, I'm like Anakin Skywalker. It have too much sand and it's just get everywhere, and I'm a big fan of the sand. Um, what is my favorite place? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not sure. Like I feel like indoors in an arcade, as bad as that is, I'm not the right Trinidadian to interview here.
So it's fantastic. So any place indoors with air conditioning, that's your favorite place on the love it.
Preferably with like
Oh,
activities like laser tags or things like that, that could play games and things like that. Cool.
Cool.
that is awesome.
Um, do you prefer cats or dogs?
I am a dog person, and unfortunately, my son is a cat person, and he is in love, like crazy love with cats. So to the point where every cat he sees, oh, he cute. So now I am slowly becoming a cat person. But I have a dog, but I am not getting a cat. But
The things we do for our kids.
I'm not getting a cat. He keeps begging, and I keep saying no, 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 no.
One day you're gonna see one that's so cute.
Yeah.
I would have a problem if I ever see a stray cat suffering like a kitten. I not say, I don't want a cat. I'm a dog person. I'm a dog.
Oh, that's funny. What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Okay.
Definitely Christmas.
Yeah.
It just like at least you lead up to Christmas. Like I feel like, it have so much hype and it's just such a nice, everybody always in a good mood, and the place just happy. It's just a happier environment closer to Christmas. But definitely Christmas. Short of that, it would actually be kind of carnival. In Trinidad we have carnival. I don't know if you had seen that, but two
Yes.
days of carnival. I do not play mass, but I do like to go to fetes. So fetes are essentially in the night they play music, and you go lime, drink, that kind of thing. So,
Right.
but definitely Christmas.
Awesome.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Mushrooms. Mushrooms are my favorites.
So, what specific mushrooms do you like, or just a mixture?
I like portobello mushrooms especially. I recently had oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushroom. They phenomenal. But to be honest with you, if I could put mushrooms on everything, I would.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
Oh, that's funny.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
love mushrooms.
Um, here in the States, we have like sub places for you to get like a sub sandwich. Um, do you have a favorite sub? Like, do you have something that you like as far like ham and cheese, or do you like subs? Do you have a favorite sub?
Ah, deli meat turkey. That's the best. Yeah, turkey and cheese.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you call it pop or soda?
We don't call it either in Trinidad. We call it soft drink.
Oh,
Or if you want to talk like a true Trini, you say sea drink.
Sea drink.
wow. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
yeah. We don't say
What is
soda
your
or pop.
favorite?
My favorite would be Coca Cola.
Okay.
Coke. I like Coke. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're gonna take a minute. The Toy Forge, hashtag the Toy Forge. If you're just joining us, we have 16 entries for the Toy Forge. We are giving away this head and this mug, and hashtag the Toy Forge. I am going to draw for that. Let me share the screen so that we can get that given away. All right. Anybody? Now we got 17 entries. Anybody else the Toy Forge? Anybody else the Toy Forge? Let us draw. Are we ready? Here we go.
Ready? Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Who's it gonna be? Ha!
Brian! Congratulations, Brian Carver Customs. Um, get in touch with Amber to give her your address, and we are going to get that out to you as quickly as we can. Yes, congratulations, Brian. That is awesome. What a great prize. Super excited. And I can't wait to see what you do with that in the customizing studio. You are going to have to show me in the customizing studio as you work on that. Okay. What is your favorite movie and genre of movie?
Movie, I mentioned it, V for Vendetta,
Right?
which yeah, I feel like it has like the right mix of everything. It had like action and romance and just everything. Genre of movie. I like dystopian type, you know, post apocalyptic
Right.
and will type stuff. Although it's freak me out and depress me, but I do like watching it. A good romantic comedy, but I feel like there's so few and far between now. You don't really get that. And then obviously the only thing I go cinema to see all my action movies, my superhero movies.
Right.
I have a soft spot for them, and that's probably the only thing that's gonna get me to go to the actual cinema, the actual movie theater.
Right. Well, you want to see those on the big screen when you have all of that action going on. You want to be able to really see what's going on. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
What was your favorite TV show as a kid?
Ninja Turtles, the cartoon.
And what's your favorite TV show now?
I what am I watching right now? I'm obsessed with X-Men '97. Um, like literally watching that like week by week and totally excited about it. Short of that, like favorite series would have to be Naruto, hands down. And right now I'm watching Boruto and just enjoying catching up with all the characters. But yeah, there's I feel like right now my attention span can only go to like anime, like a nice short form anime.
I understand that wholeheartedly too. Um, Christmas is your favorite holiday. Think back to when you were a kid. What was the standout Christmas gift that you got as a kid?
Hmm, that's a tough one. I feel like I had gotten this box of Lego, this a huge box of Lego, and it was just well. The thing is, I kept like adding to it, as time went on. But that was like one of my favorite things. I don't remember who gave me it. Who gave? I assume it's my mom. But yeah, that box of Lego, which she also gave away when I was 12 because she
What?
thought I was big enough to give away my Legos.
You never
Joke on her, I'm collecting Legos so much more now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I wish she'd have held on to him just for a little while longer.
just a little bit.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay.
see. What was your favorite place that you've ever been to as an adult?
England. I really enjoyed when I went to England. Yeah. We met back up with my best friend, well, my friend Nicholas, same guy I had mentioned that we grew up with, and well, he's married and well, I'm married, so our my husband and his wife got to lime together, and we got to lime together. But we get to walk around England, and we got to check out the all the theaters and all that. We actually saw Phantom of the Opera, which was phenomenal
Yeah.
to see them perform that live, and we got to check out the Harry Potter studios.
Oh wow.
So it
That's so
was it
cool.
was amazing. Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
just walking around England is just fantastic. Just being there and the environment and seeing everything.
That's amazing. Um, Do you remember what your first car was?
Yeah, a Toyota Corolla.
And what is your favorite car that you've ever had?
Well, it has to be a vehicle right now. We about 2 weeks ago, I got a new CRV, so
Oh,
that's,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a
That
definite
is
win.
cool.
It's a
Yeah,
fantastic. We've been with Toyota for a long time, and this is actually the first non-Toyota vehicle that I purchased. So that's good.
that's awesome.
Uh, what was your high school mascot?
We didn't have a mascot. We yeah.
Oh,
All high schools don't really have. None of our high schools have mascots. I went to all girls school, St. Augustine Girls High School. But yeah, we don't do mascots and that kind of thing, like pep rallies and all that. Like, yeah, I'm aware of what you all do because of movies, but we
Right,
don't have that culture. Our schooling system goes more according to like the British system,
right,
so it's more akin to the British system. So we tend to, we have like soccer, not like, well, we call it football, but yeah,
right.
cricket,
okay.
that sort of thing.
Gotcha. So, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed,
Right-handed.
born
Okay.
right-handed.
Do you play video games?
I used to play more often. Um, Truthfully, I don't get the time. Well, more like I don't make the time. I would say. Um, but yeah, I used to play a lot more video games. We have a PS4 and a Nintendo Switch. And now we play some video games with my son. He now allowed to play a little Mario Kart on a Friday evening, Saturday, that sort of thing. And we started playing like Ninja Turtles, Revenge of the Shredder, like Shredder's Revenge, sorry, like simple little games with him. So that's actually the extent of my video games these days.
Gotcha. Um, okay. This is like one of the most serious questions. So either you care or you don't. Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Over. Okay.
Whew, I was getting nervous.
Yeah.
Has to
No,
be
no.
over. That's the only logical way.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, what is your favorite thing to do?
Hmm. Favorite thing to do is a tricky toss up between Lyman with my son, because I do enjoy. I think one of my favorite times of the day is actually putting him to sleep. He has this habit, lights off and everything, and that's exactly when he chooses to, like, go full therapist and tell him about his day and tell him about all the things he liked and he didn't like. I think is a ploy to try not to fall asleep, but I strongly suspect is more that than, trying to spend time with mommy. But just snuggling up with my son, that's like one of my favorite things to do. When That's one of the few times that he sits still enough to cuddle up.
Yes. Yes.
If I'm by myself, though, one of my favorite things to do, and I do not have things on my mind, just sit down and binge watch anime.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
rarely let myself sit and just binge watch TV, because in my mind I always have something I should be doing, like, I should take a picture, or I should make a video, or I should write something, or exercise, or I don't know. Your brain always making you do stuff.
Right. Well, I will say this, and you saw mine before we all got together and started the show, but don't blink, because 5 and 23 feels like that they are a minute apart, and it is very, very, very much something that I loved enjoying him when he was 5. And there are a lot of times that I miss having my 5-year old around. So, yes, don't blink and spend the
Definitely.
time with your son, because it is priceless. Um, so this next question you're not going to get like all of it. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit.
Okay.
So there is a rumor, hasn't been said that it's going to happen, but there is a rumor that Four Horsemen are going to create a dragon for their Mythic Legion line.
Hmm.
So we're asking everybody, how big do you want the dragon to be?
How big? I will be honest. I get daunted if figures are too big,
Okay.
but obviously it needs to be bigger than the current figures.
Right.
Probably like a 20-inch.
Gotcha. Okay.
That'd be
Yeah.
ridiculous, but yes.
I've, I've, I've said that it needs to be about 3 feet, and if I have to hang it from the ceiling, I will do that.
Or it could be tiny.
Yeah.
Very small.
I would like a tiny little dragon. You can just like put him like on the shoulder,
Yeah.
like
Put him on his shoulder. Right.
like a real dopey little dragon that just shouldn't be that small. That's my voice. It should be small.
There you go. There you go. That's great. Okay.
So last question. What is one thing that you could tell us that you haven't told anyone else? Your darkest secret.
Mm. That's a hard question.
Oh,
Wow. You see, I thought up something and then I realized I actually did tell my husband. Damn. I am stumped. You stumped me with that one.
we're okay if you've just told your husband. You can still
Okay.
tell
Yeah.
us.
So I hate pineapple on pizza. Like hates. Like I would never put pineapple on pizza, but recently I accidentally tasted pineapple on pizza and I kinda liked it.
It's good, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Good.
I don't know.
It gives it that little bit of sweet and that little bit of salty.
Yeah, I don't know though, but it has to have ham on it though. Like it has to have the pineapple with the ham.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, don't do it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, don't do
But
Yeah,
it's that sweet with that salty. I think
not
it's
too much.
fantastic.
Yeah, not too much. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. I'm willing to bend on that one. But prior to this, I was a firm, absolutely no way in hell should pineapple ever go on pizza person.
Oh, that's awesome. Reisha, we have really enjoyed getting to know you, and hope that maybe in the future we could ask you back on and talk to you a little bit more. We have just loved getting to know you, and just so the people in the community know, you have joined Four Horsemen, the Mythic Legions Cabal, and the Legions Ladies on Facebook. So you'll be in there. Please let us know that you, and so we can all be excited that you're in there, and we can get to know you a little bit better there too. But yeah, if the opportunity arises, we would love to have you back on, and we truly appreciate you coming out and just hanging out with us tonight and talking to us.
This was fun.
Well, we appreciate you. I am going to put you in the green room. We're gonna close out the show, go over a few things, and then Amber and I'll be with you in just a minute. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you again, Reisha. We appreciate you, hon.
Thank you.
All right. What a great show, Amber. That was fun, right?
So much fun. I learned a lot today.
I did too. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Want to thank Immortal Collections for their sponsorship. Jenny, Carlo, and Tristan. We are working to get them on the show at some point, so we are excited that they are sponsoring the show, and we truly appreciate them. Also wanted to make sure you guys knew Dorklayer is live right now. Go when you leave here, go watch his show. he has Eric Miller on. So that is going to be fantastic. Excited to watch that. Also, lots and lots and lots of any day there's stuff going on. People talking about mythics. Please go watch some of the shows, enjoy them. And we look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Anything else, Amber, that you can think of?
Not that I can think of.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live, and you can know when we post videos. Amber just posted a great video from Lehigh Valley Toy Show. It was fantastic, Amber. I loved it.
Thank you. I tried so hard.
And you did so good.
Thanks.
So yeah, subscribe so that you get notifications when we post videos and stuff. And we will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey.